Okay, everyone. Today I've got my friend Justin here, and we're going to be talking about the Mortal Kombat Combat Pack number 2. It's being released in April of 2016.
Don't get us wrong, we know we're not the first ones to do this. There's probably hundreds out there, Reddit, Tumblr, you name it, YouTube itself. But to begin with, there's a lot of issues with this. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Exactly, I agree with him. We're going to break down this pack. We'll start out with the character Rai Cho. Now, I believe that we're both moderately excited about this. It's a great throwback to the other Mortal Kombats. It's been a little bit since we've got to play as him.
I mean, he's been a pretty overlooked character. I've never really seen him as a playable character. I've only seen him in, like, Armageddon and the fun little racing game they had. But I never really saw him as a fighting character.
Exactly, I agree with that. It's mainly because his moves are so out there. Him, being able to vomit and do other bodily functions like that. I can't wait to see how they're going to interpret that into a next-gen game. It's going to be a great thing for them to add in. It's going to probably be funny, but I can see them sort of moving his character to a more realistic and serious point because he is such a huge character training Liu Kang and all of that.
He should be a fun character. I'm actually looking forward to him.
Alright.
He's interesting. I want to see what they can do with him.
Me too. Next, we will move down the line to, I believe, mine and Justin's least favorite, Leatherface.
Obviously product placement. Just doing research on this. There's a movie, a new Leatherface movie, coming out the exact same time period as Combat Pack 2.
Yeah, I mean, them adding in... Alright. Let's go back to Combat Pack 1. We got Tremor, we got Tanya, we got Predator, and Jason. Jason was the first one released, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, at that point, I was thinking, okay, well, that's cool. They had Freddy in the original one. It's going to be cool to have, Jason. Throwback to a horror franchise. Then, in comes Predator, and I start to think, maybe they're trying to do something with this, and every combat pack we're going to have 2 horror movie characters, which they are apparently doing. Any thoughts on this?
I mean, when it comes down to Leatherface, anything, I understand now that it's obviously product placement, but still, we did research on this, and we saw Ed Boon saying that he wishes we could bring back everybody's favorites. If they wanted to, they could, instead of him just giving us little teasers on Twitter, anything like that, saying, hey, look, we might bring in New, or somebody else.
Or Rain, or Fujin. A lot of people want Fujin, which it's so obvious. I mean, people have done mods where they brought their character models from the campaign to be able to fight, and they've got their own movesets and everything. So
it's not that hard as they put it. They just don't want to do it.
They've got them in there. They're in the game. You just can't play as them yet. So going down to Leatherface, our final words for Leatherface are... Would you like to do the honors?
Is this PG? Or no?
No.
Fuck you, Leatherface.
Okay. Next, and one of my most controversial characters is the Xenomorph mixed with Baraka. Justin?
I like the idea of the Xenomorph, but it is disappointing to know that he has Baraka's arm blades and his powers, which gives a big chance of Baraka not coming in the game.
Because you're going to have 2 Barakas basically fighting each other, which what I think they're going to do is the Baraka will be one variation, and they'll have 2 more. I think they'll maybe add like a Queen variation, and something to do with probably the acid that they have in their blood. And, I mean, it's a good idea, but the only reason... Well, there's 2 reasons why I'm not okay with it. For one, it's Baraka mixed with a Xenomorph. So you're going to have 2 Barakas if they bring him in. Secondly, it's cool if they've got Alien versus Predator now. You're going to be able to do that. But what about Freddy versus Jason? Are they going to... A lot of people are going to be outraged that you can do one versus and you can't do the other. Which...
People are already outraged with the Leatherface
to
begin with. Everybody probably would have preferred Freddy to come back.
Exactly. And Ed Boon did say... I've read one of his tweets, and someone was like, bring back Freddy, and he said, no, we've already done that. How about... And I forgot who he said. I know he was joking, but I don't think he's going to bring back Freddy because they've already done it. if you go back and look, there are old comics of Leatherface fighting Jason, but those are way back before a lot of the New Age gamers' times.
And their comics and what people really look for, like the movies. I mean, of course, there are probably going to be a few people that are really going to be up for the Leatherface versus Jason thing, but when it comes down to a mass majority, they could have made so much more money off of just putting Freddy in there, even with this product placement. I don't, like, me personally, then putting Leatherface in this is not going to make me want to watch the movie.
Exactly.
I think that's how it's going to be for most people.
And
So-
going back to Leatherface, I don't think his variations are going to be good, because he's got one thing. He uses a chainsaw, and he cuts people
That's
up.
his shtick.
How else are they going to do that? Oh, now you've got dual meat hooks or something. I don't know.
It's going to be weird. I agree with your whole Xenomorph thing, their variations, but it's hard to say. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the Xenomorph. I'm excited to see what they can do with him.
Exactly, because he is a cool character. I mean, I only have a few issues, mainly because they're turning Mortal Kombat into a horror game now. That's the only issue I have, but I'm honestly excited to make Reptile fight the Xenomorph, because I think that the Xenomorph's going to be a really fast fighter.
I hope he is. If he's not, I'm going to be disappointed.
Okay, now let's move on to the very last, and probably the best character, the Tri-Borg.
I'm ecstatic about the Tri-Borg, but I really hope they don't half-ass this and they make the variations, one variation Sector, one variation Cyrax, and one variation Smoke. I mean, of course that's the most common thing that they're going to do, but what I would love to do is be able to, like, you know, press a combo and change from Smoke to Cyborg mid-game, kind of like how Tremor has his fact where he can turn from gold to magma mid-game, because I'd love to be able to chain together Cyrax's combo with his, like, bomb with Sector's missiles.
This is something that me and Justin probably disagree on the most, because I do want to see them put that in the game. I just really doubt they're going to, because Leatherface. Okay, I just have one thing to say. I think that they're going to half-ass it, like you said, and bring in the variations, and I think that's ridiculous, because the base variation is probably just going to be like, it's either going to be Smoke, so you'll have two Smokes, or it's just going to be a regular dumb little robot. If they do chain together the combos, which will be awesome, and it will really make people happy, and probably make people forget about Leatherface, I'm curious on what they're going to do with the other variations.
Well, see, like, what I mean, like, if they were going to do a variation, it'd be a pretty simple thing. One variation be a combination of Smoke and Sector. Another variation be a combination of Smoke and Cyrax. And then the third variation be a combination of Sector and Cyrax.
That would be awesome. I'd like to see maybe, because Cyrax and Sector being, you know, like the hardcore robots that have been in all the games, I'd like to see their combos go together and how they would, you know, sort of work it together. And
it'd be one of the most monumentous characters to use, like when they brought in, like, what would probably be one of the hardest characters to use combos with.
Are we talking about, like, the old Mortal Kombat or the new ones?
Just any Mortal Kombat.
Any Mortal Kombat. It's hard to say. I've always sort of had trouble pulling off Kenshi's in a way. I mean, maybe
They really perfected him in the new one.
They did. In the old ones, I had, in Mortal Kombat 9, I had a lot of trouble, and I've had trouble with Reptile.
Oh yeah, Reptile. He's been a pain for me always. But like when it comes down to this, it's just that if they did those variations where they combine two of the robots together and you could swap through them mid-fight, that'd be amazing. It'd give people a challenge for a character to use
Instead of just having to play as the base robot.
Because I mean, if it's the base robot, we can look at this. I know playing as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, their movesets have barely changed.
Through the history of all the Mortal Kombat.
Every single Mortal Kombat's about
The only time I think that Scorpion's spear move changed from Mortal Kombat 1 all the way to Mortal Kombat 9 was when he was a guest character in Injustice. Because it was like...
DC Universe.
Yeah. Instead of back, triangle, or Y, it was back forth, triangle, or Y.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing that I can think of.
I mean, like, that's one thing. Mortal Kombat is one of the most iconic games going from past to future.
Just because, I mean...
But they've made it so simple.
Yeah. I mean, it sort of got a little funky there when they went into the 3D and having, you know, where you can move left and right instead of just back and forth. But, I mean, they were still good. I loved Mortal Kombat Deception, and I loved Armageddon.
Armageddon has to be one of my
I know that both of us can go back to this day and play Armageddon.
Armageddon is amazing.
But
the pure fact of them, it was one of the first fighting games to throw the world as a weapon.
exactly.
Kicking people downstairs, throwing them through walls, and then doing fatalities with the map. I mean, they've always had that in the other ones, but like...
But now you can do it while in the game. You can finish the person off right there by kicking them into a meat grinder. But all of this is a video for another day. Let's address the elephant in the room for the almost 100% sure fact that they're going to make you pay another $30 for the Kombat Pass number 2.
For this, if that's how it is, it's going to make me really mad, because I've already spent a good $100 on the game in general.
Okay.
All the characters.
Let's go over this. You got your released game, $60. Mm-hmm. You go and buy your
Season Pass.
Your first Season Pass to get all this stuff, $30, so that's already $90. Let's say you want...
And then bonus outfits, don't forget those.
Yeah, the bonus outfits, which are what, like, I don't know.
I think $2 each.
Yeah, about $2. So you can add on at least, what, like $10? That's $100. You've got all of these other little microtransactions. So, you know, we'll just put it at like $120. You're going to have to spend another $30. So you've already spent $150 on this game. You've gotten 8 characters out of it, plus all the normal base characters and costumes. But, I mean, if you go back and look at it, you don't have to have the costumes. You have to have these characters, because if you go online, you're going to have to keep up. You know?
I mean, like, the way Mortal Kombat X works online, they did it pretty well. I'll give them that. Like, you could set rooms for you and how many ever people you want to play and stuff like that. So they got that down. You don't really have to keep up. Like, you and a friend could start their own little private lobby and do that. Or people will start, like, big groups, like 90 people to a game, and people will just challenge each other, and they'll, like, get rid of certain characters that they won't let you use.
Now, I will admit that I don't have a next-gen console, but I'm fortunate enough to have a friend who does, and that's the only reason that I know about basically any of this, is because I've been able to play on Justin over here. I've been able to play his PlayStation with him. I played the new Black Ops 3. I played a little bit of that. We've played Mortal Kombat X a lot, the new Little Big Planet. What else?
Towerfall Ascension.
Very fun game.
Rocket League.
Another fun game. The Minecraft PlayStation 4. But, again, those are all things for other videos. Any last words, Justin, before we end it?
Honestly, I'd love to see anybody who watches this, whether they know us or not, like in real life, just anybody who watches this, I'm eager to see your guys' comments, to see who agrees, see who argues with it. If you argue, that's fine. Everybody has their own points and views of this, but we just thought we'd go out there and we'd throw out our opinions.
Mainly to say fuck Leatherface.
Yeah, basically to say fuck Leatherface. So...
Alright guys, thanks for listening, and have a great day.